Alcatraz. The name makes you think of dark cells and desperate men. A lonely rock covered in mist and stories, rising from the cold waters of San Francisco Bay. This was not a normal prison, it was a fortress, built to hold the most dangerous criminals, men too risky for other prisons. Alcatraz was the top symbol of America's fight against organized crime and those who broke the law. Its name was famous, scaring even the toughest criminals. Escaping was thought to be impossible, a crazy idea. The currents were dangerous, the waters cold and harsh, but still, some men dared to dream. Before it became a famous prison, Alcatraz had a different story. Alcatraz was important for the nation's safety. In the 1850s, the U.S. Army saw the island as a key defense spot. They built a military prison to hold Confederate supporters during the Civil War. The island's isolation and strong currents made it perfect for a high-security prison. In 1934, during the gangster era, the island changed a lot. The old military prison became Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, a strong fortress. New cell blocks were built with top security to hold the most dangerous criminals. Armed guards watched the corridors, always looking for trouble. Alcatraz was meant to break even the toughest criminals, a place where hope was lost. It was a place of strict control, with no room for defiance. The message was clear. Once you entered Alcatraz, you were forgotten by the outside world. For 29 years, Alcatraz was a federal prison. It held some of the most famous criminals in America. Al Capone, a well-known gangster from Chicago, was there for 4.5 years. Even though his crime spree in Chicago ended, his fame followed him to Alcatraz. George Machine Gun Kelly, a famous kidnapper, was also locked up at Alcatraz. Despite his scary nickname, Kelly behaved well in prison, which was very different from his violent past. Then there was Robert Stroud, known as the Birdman of Alcatraz. He wasn't jailed for his interest in birds, but studying them was his only comfort during his long time in prison. These men, and many others, became part of Alcatraz's story. Their tales, whispered through the halls and carried by the wind, added to the prison's eerie reputation. In the early 1960s, a bold plan was forming inside Alcatraz, the famous island prison known for its high security and tough reputation. 4 men, Frank Morris, John Anglin, Clarence Anglin, and Allen West, dreamed of escaping from the rock. They wanted to break free from the prison that had held so many before them. Frank Morris, a smart bank robber, was the leader of the plan. His sharp mind and good observation skills got things started. He noticed something others didn't. The ventilation grills in their cells offered a chance. These small openings became the key to their plan. The concrete around the grills was weak, damaged by years of salt air and neglect. This weakness was their opportunity. They spent months planning carefully. Every detail was checked, every problem thought about. Using old saw blades and spoons, they slowly chipped away at the concrete around the ventilation ducts. Each night, they worked in secret, making progress bit by bit. They made life vests from raincoats and a raft from stolen raincoats. These homemade tools were important for their escape. They even made dummy heads using soap, toilet paper, and real hair to trick the guards during head counts. These fake heads gave them extra time. Their escape showed human creativity and desperation. It highlighted their cleverness and strong desire for freedom. Every night, under the cover of darkness, they risked everything for a chance at freedom. The stakes were high, but their determination was strong. On the night of June 11, 1962, during a foggy and stormy night, something unbelievable happened. Frank Morris, John and Clarence Anglin, and Allen West decided to escape. They crawled through holes in their cells and into the ventilation system. They moved through the tunnels and pipes, their hearts beating fast. They reached the roof, with wind and rain hitting them. Below them, the cold waters of San Francisco Bay were rough. They climbed down the building, using a homemade raft and life vest to cross the dangerous waters. Allen West, scared and unsure, hesitated at the last moment. He couldn't face the rough waters. He went back to his cell, his dream of freedom gone. The others disappeared into the night. The next morning, as the sun rose over the bay, a shocking discovery was made. The cells of Frank Morris, John, and Clarence Anglin were empty. Dummy heads, made to look real, were in their beds, showing how clever their escape was. The FBI started a big search, but the men were gone without a trace. The official report said they drowned, their bodies taken by the strong currents, but rumors continued. Some said they saw the Anglin brothers in South America, while others believed Morris started a new life with a fake identity. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened to them. Did they die in the cold waters of the bay, or did they manage to do the impossible, escaping Alcatraz and becoming legends? Alcatraz closed in 1963, just a year after the famous escape that caught the world's attention. The once strong fortress, a symbol of American justice and the impossibility of escape, became quiet. Its walls, which once echoed with the sounds of prisoners and guards, now stood silent. Today, the island is a reminder of a past era in American history. It has changed from a place of sadness to a site of learning and reflection. Tourists from around the world visit Alcatraz, drawn by its dark history and the mystery of the 1962 escape. They walk the same halls that once held some of America's most famous criminals. Some visitors say they feel a strange presence on the island, a lingering sense of the pain and sadness that once filled its walls. The stories of ghosts add another layer to its rich history. Whispers of cold spots, ghostly voices, and shadowy figures have made Alcatraz known as one of America's most haunted places. These ghost stories continue to interest and scare visitors. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, there's no denying the hold Alcatraz has on the imagination. Its stories of resilience, escape, and mystery captivate all who visit. It stands as a testament to human resilience, the desire for freedom, and the power of mystery. The island's history is a mix of human emotion and experience. The rock, once a symbol of confinement, is now a beacon, drawing us in with its stories of daring escapes, enduring mysteries, and the ghosts of legends past. Its legacy continues to inspire and fascinate.